So that's kind of the, what it takes to get it going. This is always the one question everybody asks: how much does it cost? Well, I've got a connection to 3 schools. I could probably get more, and it's all about the same. Cardinal, which is where I was at that time, purchased 425 machines. Approximate number was, I shouldn't say purchase, that's the wrong term really, because and even though it says purchase on all of it, they all leased. All 3 of those districts leased Apple MacBooks for 4 years. So I probably should get that change on there. But the cost to the district was $681,000 over 4 years, which is a lot of money. Included in that is pretty much anything you can think of. Your infrastructure, from your Wi-Fi to your servers, to professional development for teachers, to training for your tech people, to all the, there's a program called Casper Suite, which kind of allows you to push things out, to basically control your system, to the laptops themselves, to the software, to part of the warranty. Basically, they're hard to damage in its own right, but things are going to happen. The warranty is awesome. Our insurance that you have to be prepared for is great. It allows our kids to always have access. So that cost is what that is. Now, the reason there's a difference between when you look at them per laptop, at Van Meter, we decided to put some extra software on them. We actually went with Microsoft Office as well as the Apple products. So there's a little bit of fluctuation, but we had Nottoway Valley, I believe, just was quoted a bid from Apple, and it was right in that range. I just tell people it's about $1,600 a machine, and theirs was like $1,640 or something like that. So it's still about the same price. I would think it's going to go down, but because they're using this laptop. This is the original one we had, and then our 6th graders came in and got new ones, and I was able to get one of those. Okay, I guess. So anyway, that's basically the cost. So when you figure that out, you figure $400 a year for a kid to have, an unbelievably powerful tool. And as Shannon talked about, and she'll touch on more, just being able to connect with. We've connected with so many schools and educators throughout the world. It's just mind-boggling. She was showing me part of one of my daughter's blog posts where she's working with some lady in New York or something. And it's just those kind of things. So it's, to me, cheap, I think. If you throw in your cost of textbooks and some of the other things, any type of curriculum materials, I think it's well worth it. Now, and you can see my little thing, less than 7% of student-generated revenue, which isn't what you're using. Most schools aren't. There are some of the things that are included. That includes the bag. There's more than that, but that's just kind of a general overview. Okay. Any questions on that part of it?
Okay.
Yeah.
When you talk about infrastructure, what are you talking about?
And it was a little bit different at Cardinal. Cardinal, we had to do a lot of rewiring, and they helped do some of that rewiring, but it also was putting in the the airports, all new servers. The wiring at Van Meter was set up a little bit better, but it was still all new servers. It was pretty much anything you can think of to make it go.
Did you have to do anything with bandwidth?
We did increase, the AA allowed us to go up to 25, whatever it is. Now they have put a cap on that. We're wanting to go up to 30. Where are you guys at?
Where are we at?
Yeah.
Our internet's at 6 and we have 10 meg.
Yeah, you would have to greatly increase that. But that's through the AA. If we go over 25, they charge us a little bit. We're trying to get that up a little bit more. I personally believe there's going to be more infrastructure throughout the state that's going to allow Wi-Fi to be more available too. I'm going to go on a side tangent here a little bit, because one of the other questions that usually gets asked after something like that's asked is, what about the kids that don't have Wi-Fi? They'll find it. That's not going to be an issue. I see you have a McDonald's. I assume you have Wi-Fi there. You're not going to have an issue. Your library probably does. Your school has. We have kids. Seriously, have kids. I get to school about 6:45 or 6, and there's kids there shortly after me just to get in and get on the Wi-Fi, because it's so much faster than their Wi-Fi. It's just the way it is. So they'll figure that out. So that won't be an issue. They use the Verizon cards because we have kids in rural areas. They get those. It's not an issue. So how's it paid for? This is the next question that's asked the most. What most schools have done is the 1% sales tax. Okay, it just depends on where you're at. We have actually used some of our PEPAL money as well. I put grants, and that's that Microsoft money is kind of what I'm referring to there. There's a lot of schools that have started here this year. That's what they're using, especially smaller schools that received a lot of money. Most schools have gone to a 3 or 4 year lease. As far as how that all works, I have put a couple people's names down. You can talk to the superintendents at Sigourney and Van Meter. They'd be able to help you out there. Some of the other things you want to think about are your policies. You can see, and ours has actually changed a little bit from this. We kind of followed, our insurance has changed. We used to have, it used to cost the district $500 a deductible anytime something was damaged above and beyond the warranty. It cost us $500. We would charge the kids $100 the first time, $200 a second, $250 deductible. It was $500 when I was a Cardinal, and they lowered it to $250. $250. Now we've changed our insurance. We now have this underwriter policy that covers a lot more than our computers. It doesn't. We pay a lot up front, but it doesn't cost us anything now. We still, if a kid damages the machine, we'll charge them $100. They have a cost up front. They pay $35, what we call technology software assessment. We make all kids pay, whether they're free and reduced or not. We believe, and the reason behind that is we believe that they need to have something in it, and $35 seems to be that amount that most people can come up with. Now, some kids, it's taken them the whole year to pay it. I mean, we work with them on that. We also work with families if they get to the $100. We look at situations. We're not out to get money out of anybody. I mean, it's, the district's made the investment, so it's pretty minimal cost. If a family, like in my family, when they get up to the age where all 4 of them have one, we don't charge anybody more than $100 up front. So if there's a family of 4 or whatever. And there's want to go through the whole policy, but there's our policy as it was written, and then our laptop acknowledgement form that they sign off on that they're going to take care of it and all those kind of things. So here's some other things on the system upgrades that you were talking about. So these are the things that our tech guys put on there: the access points, the upgrades, servers, backups, HIPAA compliance filters, all those kind of things.
So did you have to change all the equipment in your offices and that too? Is everyone running
We did.
Apple or?
No, our office, we run dual platform. Our office is still Microsoft
Okay.
PC. There's so much of the business side of it's still on that. I mean, and that's all changing. This is my opinion. I don't think we should have gotten Microsoft Office myself. And I think that's being verified. I mean, we still have people using it, but now Google Docs, most our kids all have Gmail accounts. So they're all using that. It's all on the web anyway. That's where everything's moving. So it's silly to spend money on software. I mean, that's not smart, I don't think. Our reasoning, I can tell you, the reasoning was political. It was Microsoft is building a database warehouse just down the road. I mean, just outside of our district. So that's the reason why. Hopefully get some support there later on. So, yeah. So that's kind of the gist of that part of it. I don't know how much more you want me to cover, Jim, but other pieces are the rollout. That's really important because that's going to be the first time your kids are going to have the laptops, and the first time the families, there's an orientation process that everybody goes through. It's really important that first time. You want it to be working. That's probably the most nerve-wracking day because that's when the kids get logged on and make sure their stuff's working. So make sure you've got that all set up. If you decide to go this route. This is just a little bit of kind of how we had ours set up. Now these Kirk McGill's and this is actually an old email. He's not at Cardinal now. He's just at Sigourney. But Kirk was the tech guy at Cardinal and Sigourney, which are both now 1-to-1. Sigourney's expanded their program, so now they've brought Kirk on full time. And then Mike's the tech guy at Van Meter. This is a lot of their information. And Kirk, that's kind of his writing there. I mean, he was totally a PC guy, and then he explains why he went with Mac, and primarily it's because they've got this overall program that currently is just set up better than the PC programs. We know of 3 or 4 schools that are using netbooks, and they're cheaper. You don't have to pay as much, but you get what you pay for, right? The machines are going to get damaged more often. They're not going to provide the support that you can get that Apple will provide. When these machines, the machine itself will be 4 years old, but we get 2 software updates. So they'll basically be brand new at the end of 4 years. At the end of that lease, we get to decide if we want to buy them for a very minimal cost or if we want to give them back and probably get iPads would be my guess at that time in 2 years.
So iPads are an option then?
Yeah, there's Waverly Shell Rock. They're 5'8", maybe 5'9". I think I heard her say the other day they're going with iPads. Then there's other schools that are doing it kind of like by grade levels. You hear a lot of elementaries that are doing it by grade levels. That's probably the biggest number of students that are using it, will be using iPads, and then their plan is to just keep adding a grade each year.
Cool.
Yeah. From my chair, the great thing about the iPads is they're cheaper, they're more mobile.
Yeah.
You can get all kinds of programs already put on, and that's kind of how they're working. And I think there's great programs. You know, negatives are one, you don't have a camera, which we see for us is kind of is a negative. I mean, my daughter's in 6th grade. I would say every night. It's not every night, but regularly she's Skyping with friends saying, "Hey, I'm trying to get this thing figured out. Can you help me out?" Or they might just be doing their homework and they're just, it's weird to me, but they're just have their cameras on and they're doing whatever they're doing, but they're there together. It's like they're, you know, it's this. Yes, sir.
Doesn't an iPad have, though, the adaptability of adding a camera, so you can add a little webcam?
Yeah, the cameras are gonna come out, I think, like after April.
I believe it's the next generation.
Yeah, we-
Right, so then you'll be able to connect up with.
Correct.
So then you could.
Correct.
2 cameras.
Correct.
Yeah, Waverly Shellrock's waiting
Sorry.
for that.
No, it's good though. I mean, there's always a way around it.
Yeah, I mean, that's my, I mean, right now, that's what I would guess we would go to. I mean, you know, obviously the computer's still, the laptop's still more powerful, but when we're ready to do our lease, again, it's, I just gotta believe it's gonna be iPad or something like that. So there, you know, just a little more information, just kind of basically reiterates what I was saying earlier about professional development. I mean, it's just a better product. And then this was, you know, for my chair as an administrator, what my role is, which really doesn't apply to you guys.
Darren, did you say that whenever you get ready to renew your lease, you will go back with notebooks, or you'll do something different?
My guess is we'll probably go with iPads. If I were to say right now, if I were to predict, that would be my guess. I mean, we're only a year and a half in, so we still have 2.5 years left. I've got to believe it's going to be a good enough product at that point that that's what we'll go with. You know, if we can get one for probably, after you get all the stuff on it you want, I'm guessing, I don't know, what's Bridget paying, $600, I'm guessing, a machine. And the reason they're going with iPads instead of some of the other tablet kind of things is because of Apple's kind of figured out the background stuff where you can basically, what word do I want to use? Control the kids' machines. That's probably not the right word, but you know what they're doing. You can kind of keep track of some of those things because those are they're kids. Security, yeah, they're kids. I mean, they're going to do things they shouldn't do. I did that once. You guys probably
That's
did
me,
that
right.
once or twice. So I mean, the rest of it's really just kind of perspective, which you're going to get from these guys. I think this is a really good website that you guys can have access to. I mean, anybody can get to. And a lot of it's, some of it's mine, a lot of the stuff that Scott has put out or other one-to-one, and I just kind of tried to put it in one place so people could access it. So. I don't know.
What I was gonna say is we're getting ready to transfer to Sean. One of the next questions we get, the website, SAI.
Sorry. It's SAI121, the number 121, .wikispaces.com. And we can email everything to you here later.